again and again. So what happened was with my first live stream, something happened. The Wi-Fi was having problems, so I had to swiftly cut it. But then when I came back, when the Wi-Fi was working, started to work, I came back and for some reason it says live stream is still going, but when I click the video, it doesn't play. Honestly, that's so strange. Anyways, I know the topic of this live stream is kind of interesting, funny as well, but overall, I want to talk about something serious. So, a couple months ago, say January, someone messaged me and then I replied, and seldom we replied to each other. And then I took a break from Twitter, and then I returned to Twitter a week or two ago, and all of a sudden I start responding, and this person mentions his story, and he mentions how much harder his life has been ever since he lost his parents, and he's been working now. He had to quit school, and he wants to go back to school. He wants to do all of that stuff, but it's hard for him now because he has to be the breadwinner of the house now and look after his family. So I have dropped a GoFundMe page on my YouTube community tab. You can check it out. I posted it twice, so you can check it out. Um, so if you have anything to spare, please check it out. It doesn't have to be much. Maybe if you have $1 or two or three, that would be perfect. Because I know his goal is 700. That's a lot. I don't think everyone will have that much immediately, but every little every little bit counts. So if you can afford it, I do recommend donating to his GoFundMe. It's already on my community tab. You can find it. Maybe scroll down somewhere, or you'll find it. It's somewhere on the top, maybe right at the top. I don't know. It's been a while since I've posted anything. So, yeah, I want to point that out. And today he messaged me and he said that he went to the doctors and he has malaria and he can't afford the medicine because he doesn't have the money. Please, 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 if you have anything, even if it's just a handful of dollars to spare, please, I recommend you donate to this boy. He's technically 18 and he had to drop out of school. So, yeah, please help him if you have anything to spare, you know um, as I said, anything to spare. So please do that if you have anything, and let's move on to the main topic of the video. Sorry for sounding so serious, I just wanted to get that out of the way. YouTube Shorts, I rarely watch them because obviously on my old tablet, anytime I watched a YouTube Shorts, sometimes the phone would rotate like this. It would rotate, and then that was so annoying because you couldn't do so much of other actions, and then I just did not like it so much. Obviously, YouTube Shorts came about because YouTube wanted to compete with TikTok, and the thing about YouTube Shorts is that it's very addicting. I can see why TikTok is pretty popular because short videos are pretty addicting. And recently I've been watching them. I started watching a couple of them on this new phone because it's a bit more fun to watch on this phone. I watched sweet videos, and then I started watching all types of videos, even from people that I'm subscribed to. And here's a cool thing. If you're trying to sell a product or raise awareness for anything, I do recommend making a YouTube short because those things get more views. Yes, they may not get you ad revenue, but the one way to reach out to the public, if you have any problem, you can reach out to the public, make a YouTube shorts, and yeah, that would be perfect. So if you're raising awareness for something, because I've seen a lot of live action videos on my YouTube Shorts list, and you will see so much of them. because they really help spread the message. So that's one way of spreading messages. The next thing um, to talk about was how addicting and how my YouTube shorts changed. It started from random stuff to now just pregnancy and baby videos. We went from chocolates to spooky stuff to all sorts of stuff, and now to just motherhood. If you like a certain type of topic or whatever, like let's just say you like video games and you see more video game stuff recommended to you on your YouTube shorts. So if you like something, press the like button on a certain YouTube short, that more of that video and more related videos of that will be recommended to you. So I did have to block a couple of people, like a couple of channels, because I did not like their content. But overall, I did see a lot of other types of videos recommended to me, and I would like a lot, like a lot of pregnancy stuff, pro motherhood type of stuff. I would like those type of videos because those are important to share. Those are important to talk about, because we are living in a culture that hates almost anything to do with simplicity, hates everything, yet complains about something so complicated like working. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to get so serious. I do not want to get serious, but this is how things are. And then you really want people to understand there's a different side to things. You don't have to always see it as stock all the time. So I always like those type of videos. I always try my best to like those type of videos so it can be recommended to other people. I don't know if that's gonna work that way, but I hope it does. Anyways, moving on to the next thing of YouTube Shorts was I also found a couple of videos that really raised awareness, that really raised awareness for something. Shaken baby syndrome. I'm sure some of y'all may have heard that. Now, it's not overly talked about. It's something that's rarely talked about. And this one YouTuber was raising awareness for it. Basically, when you have an infant, you should not shake them. I'm not talking about a simple shake, I'm talking about a violent shake. You should not do it because that causes complications in the baby's development, and you basically just ruin a child's life. They become um, well, I don't know, there's so much of symptoms, but they just lose so much of their future because of that. And that breaks my heart because it's so avoidable. It's literally the most avoidable thing. And the person who was raising awareness told about how um, their was it their husband or boyfriend who shook the baby. The baby was fine in the before photos. The after photos, you can see that the child gained so much weight for that type of age, for being literally like, you know, I think maybe a couple months old. I can't remember, but yeah, pretty overweight. And then the child had problems, a lot of problems, and the child is suffering. This is the thing. You should not shake your baby. So if you know anyone who's having children, tell them not to shake their babies when they're so young, because it damages their brain. It damages a lot of their future. Please understand that. So maybe this video can raise awareness too. Overall, it breaks my heart that there are a lot of people, violent people, who will do that to children. It really breaks my heart. Children should not be handled like that at all. Anyways, moving on. There's just so much to talk about. Now, YouTube shorts are pretty addicting. At night, I'll be like, okay, maybe just a couple of them. And then I end up watching like hundreds of them. There are ads on YouTube shorts, like people do post like their video games or their apps on that specific YouTube shorts, because as you're scrolling, you'll come across an ad. Those are pretty helpful if you're selling a product. I've also been watching those type of videos where people will say top 5 items that you need to get from this company or that company, like Amazon, you know, like top 5 useful items. those videos are kind of fun. It reminds me of the old days of YouTube where people will test. People still do that, but not. It's not as big as it once was. People will make videos testing different products, like Crazy Russian Hacker. I remember watching him, and oh, the good old days, you know. He would do these product reviews, and he still does them, but now it feels like he just does them because he has to. But back in the day, he really enjoyed making them, and I really, really love his videos. Anyways, moving on from that, there's just so much of content on YouTube Shorts, and they are very helpful, as I said, if you want to sell a product or raise awareness for anything. Now, do YouTube tags even work anymore? Because I remember I would post videos on my laptop, and long ago, back early 2016, 17, the tags were very important because on your phone, immediately you'll be able to add the tags. But for some reason, when I'm live streaming, I'm not allowed to add tags whatsoever. On my laptop, on my laptop, what happened was you had to click a different tab just to see all the tags. That's so ridiculous because tags used to be so important back in the day. I remember how important things were like years ago for YouTube. Tags were the most important thing. People would talk about it all the time. Always have good tags and also have tags in your description, but I guess that doesn't matter anymore. Anyways, what else can I show you? I forgot. So this is my old VR set. I got this back late 2017, December 2017. It was almost going to be 2018. And look at this. Basically, this is for your phone. It's not anything fancy. I do have the remote somewhere. It was this cool remote. Now, I don't know which game will work with that, but it's kind of awesome. So you plug it, you just put it in. So let me just take it out. You put your phone inside over here, and then you shut it in. There are some lenses over here you can see, and you can adjust the lenses, which is kind of cool. But years ago, I did not have a good phone, so this was practically useless to me. It was so useless to me because the phone I had could barely hold such good content. What I like about this, it's also 3D, so you can see all the 3D stuff. Oh, that's amazing. I wonder if I can download a movie, a VR movie. That would be fantastic. But that would be very damaging to your eyes because you're so close to it. You're practically marrying the screen at this point. Okay, so those type of games are kind of fun. You know, there are games, VR games, but the best VR games are not for the phones. The best ones are for the computer. So you have to get this completely different setup, which costs you so much money. It costs you just so much just to have those. Um, okay, so this was a gift, and I'm glad I still have it in one piece. This strap did come out a bit, but I kind of pushed it back in. One of them came out. Well, regardless, it's all better now, and I just wonder, I really wonder what awesome games there are on this phone to play for this. But I don't know. I don't know if I'll have the time to. Okay, what else can we look at? What else can we talk about? I don't know. I'm just so addicted to YouTube Shorts. Before I sleep, I always say, let me just watch a couple of YouTube Shorts. And then I end up watching hundreds of them, and I can't stop watching them. It's so difficult. It's like some kind of magnet just always attracting you to watch those type of videos. But that's the thing about short content. They are very important. YouTube does not monetize them. So you cannot earn anything from that, which is very sad because years ago, I remember YouTube prioritized long form content. In other words, if you made longer videos, the more ads you can put in, which is not a bad thing. Obviously, that makes sense. But then watch time mattered then, you know? Having one short video did not matter. You needed possibly a long video for people to watch to generate so much of watch time. And now I think you need short watch time as well, which is ridiculous. You know, it's so disappointing that YouTube keeps changing so much of the monetization. I really miss the old days when you needed 2,000 views just to monetize your channel because that was spectacular. Anyone could easily earn money, but now it's getting ridiculous. And worst of all, channels have two ads per um, before the video and maybe after the video there's one. So sometimes you'll be getting two ads. So that's ridiculous. And many of them are unskippable. 5 second, 14 second. All of them are very difficult to skip. So honestly, YouTube has made a lot of money. I really wish they've made it more easier to monetize your content. That would have been so fantastic. I don't think I'll ever monetize my content because it's practically impossible. It's practically impossible for me to gain so much. I already reached the subscriber threshold, but there's also the watch count and the short watch count for some reason. I don't like that. I really don't like that. Things have gotten more difficult. I don't think I'll ever monetize this channel or my main channel. It's going to be practically pointless. There has to be another way to make money, and this should not be the main way. So, to anyone who wants to be a YouTuber, a full time YouTuber, remember this. I've been doing YouTube since 2016 and things changed. Things changed drastically. I remember when things were so awesome and everything just went to crap. Different trends come and go. It's going to be hard to gain so much money unless you have a dedicated fan base because there are channels that make thousands of dollars just based on super chats alone and maybe a couple of ads. But it's going to be impossible now for people to earn so much if they're just doing something like gaming, mostly gaming. It's going to be difficult because not everyone's going to give a couple of super chats. So that's the thing I want to point out about. If you're going to do YouTube full time, at least have other ways of earning money. If you have other skills, put them to use. And if you have um, merchandise, if you want to make merchandise, make them. Good morning. Hi. It's practically afternoon for me, so good afternoon. It's 1:30. Time flies when you're having fun. I'm so hungry now. I'm so hungry. I can eat an entire animal. What else can I show? Okay, let me just show you my room. So as you can see, this is how everything looks. Everything looks somewhat fine. You know, it looks neat now, but then 3, 4 weeks from now, everything is gonna be jumbled up. So I threw away a lot of stuff like boxes I had not needed. So yeah, that's good. And I'm happy that I cleaned a lot, but there's still more to go. Um, I remember this desk being more different. Years ago, it used to be compiled of paper only, and then I changed everything around. I kept changing things. So now this is it. This is how it looks. There's so much of stuff. I feel like I need to return all these DVDs back to the lounge because having them here is going to be difficult. But these are the ones that are frequently watched. I recently watched this movie again. Hold on. I recently watched this movie. I recently watched this movie. So this is my favorite childhood movie. I just watched the second half of it because the first half is okay, but I like the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, but retold with the three characters from Disney. That's awesome. I really liked it, but overall, most people won't even watch it these days. It's such a classical film. The music is wonderful. The animation is so clean, so awesome, and this was made like almost 100 years ago. So this movie is broken up into two halves. The first half tells a story of this bear named Bungo, and he escapes from the circus, and then he meets this female, and then he simps for her. That's basically the movie. And then the second half is basically Jack and the Beanstalk retold with three characters, and that's it. It's hilarious. I love it. I really do. It's one of the most entertaining stuff to watch. What else can I say? But overall, this is something good. It's good. So I recently watched a couple of episodes of this. Now, there weren't many Chip and Dale shorts released in the past year, past like decade, no, past century, past century. There weren't so much released, but they were pretty popular characters, and especially pairing them up with Donald Duck. That's awesome. When you pair them up with someone really, really angry like him, you're going to get something hilarious. The outcome is always going to be hilarious. So there are a lot of interesting episodes here. You have, um, which is my favorite. I think one of my favorites is when he chopped their tree down and they try to take it back. It's so awesome to watch that because right now it's winter. Okay, what else can I show? What else can I show? I watched this on Saturday. I need to do a review on it for my main channel. Overall, it's a decent movie. It's not something spectacular. The animation is good, but it's a decent movie. I'm surprised how small these books were. I expected them to be ginormous when I first purchased them. I purchased them earlier this year, if I could remember correctly, and the covers feel okay. They still have the new book smell because I barely touched them. I know there's this compilation of all the books fused together in one ginormous book with full of illustrations, but I don't know. I already have these seven. I mean, it would be awesome to have like a better colored version, but I don't know. I think this is okay. I think this is okay. I like how each book has its own designated color. This is dark blue, this is light blue, this is orange. So I know each of the books were made different times, but but in order they're very different. They're very different. Netflix is possibly going to make their own version of this. And trust me, it's going to be terrible. I say this because judging how Netflix is so anti tradition, you're going to get a very sour series. That's all I can say. So what happened was when I found out about that, I swiftly purchased this entire collection because you know something important. Okay, no, I purchased this because not because of the movie, because well, part of that, but also they recently went after a certain author. I can't remember the author's name. I can't remember, but they basically censored his work, and I was worried they were going to do this to C.S. Lewis, so I quickly purchased it because they're going to make a Netflix adaptation, and you know that Netflix will try and censor the original books, so you can't see any of the original content. That's what they're going to do. I'm not going to be surprised if that happens. So I had to purchase them, and as you can see, they are good quality books. They're pretty small to keep, so if you're worried about space, they barely take space. They barely take space. They came with their own cardboard box, but I had to throw it away. If you watched the previous live stream, you know why, because it wasn't fitting. So I just threw it away. But these books are pretty interesting to have. So just remember, if Netflix makes a terrible adaptation, I already have all the books, so if they try and censor it, I'm okay. I'm okay. But look at this. I like it. I really like it. I expected them to be much bigger and much more thicker, but I guess all of them are almost the same size. What other books do I have? I know there's going to be a Harry Potter um, live action series. I don't know how people feel about that because obviously I'm not a major Harry Potter fan, but obviously a lot of people got into them and I'm sure they must be disappointed. They're tired of remakes. A lot of people are tired of remakes, reboots, reimaginings. A lot of people are tired of those three R's: reboots, reimaginings, retellings, and um, what else? I'm sure there's more R's, but overall, it's just pointless. It's pointless for them to just go back. And I've heard they're gonna make some Lord of the Rings movies. And I also heard about a Lord of the Rings movie, an animated movie that's going to come out. And guess what? It's going to be woke. It's going to be a woke movie. I remember when people were hyping this movie up a year ago because they did not like Rings of Power, so they were hyping this movie instead. They said they were going to wait for this. And in my mind, I was thinking, I kind of doubt it's going to be good. I doubt it's going to be good because anything made in modern times, well, most of things made in modern times, suck so much. And we all know the reasons why. A lot of people always try and say, well, the production was silly. No, no, it was wokeness. People people got woke and that's it. That's it. So overall, it's wokeness. So if the story fails, it's going to be wokeness, but people will say, well, it's something else. Maybe it just people are, they'll find some excuse. Don't blame wokeness. That's the thing I hate so much about professional reviewers. They don't blame the main cause of it, they blame something else that has nothing to do with it. We'll keep having this conversation about wokeness forever because no one wants to say no, this is enough, this is enough. It's terrifying how if they have a series of the Narnia, all of the Christian allegory will be drained out because they are offended by that. They cannot stand Christianity, so they will erase it. They will change characters. They will make everything to be modernized, and you complain about it. Well, you get told off. It happened to He-Man. It happened to Cowboy Bebop. It happened to Rings of Power. You're gonna be told a lot of things if you disagree with it. You have to plug your brains off. You have to plug it off and just consume. You're not allowed to think. You're not allowed to say no. You have to only say yes. You must get hyped for no reason. And then when it sucks, people won't blame the main reason. I remember when people said certain shows are going to be woke, people didn't believe them and then it turned out woke, but people won't apologize. I'm just annoyed because that's all they do these days. They will take something, remake it or reboot it or whatever, or they'll take something and then they'll make a story of it, but it's going to be woke. So this new Lord of the Rings animated movie coming possibly next year is going to be woke. It is going to be woke. And basically, there's going to be a lot of like wackiness in it with its wokeness. And what's sad about this is that this really undermines a character from The Lord of the Rings. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Continuity doesn't matter to these people. Nothing matters to these people. Nothing matters at all. some of these people do not care about money. They care about the message only. So they'll spread the message all over. And if you complain, then you're a bad person. I've heard there's going to be a bunch of like female warriors fighting this king because he wants to erase them from history in this movie. I know. How ridiculous is that? And I've heard it starts off with that, or possibly that's one of the clips they saw, a couple of people saw. It breaks my heart. That's what they want to do. There's this one character from the appendices, the appendices or appendix, whatever you call it, and they basically took this character from the Return of the King, somewhere at the end of the book. This book, you have like this major section of content of timelines, and they took this one specific story about this war happening and they decided to go with it, but instead of using other named characters, they use a unnamed character, give her a name, and you know what they do? They make the character a tomboy. Yes, they make the character a tomboy character. You can find it written multiple media sites online. They made this character a tomboy. Why? I don't know. And then they're gonna have some nonsense about patriarchy and stuff. Why are they doing this? And it just breaks my heart because someone who worked on the original Lord of the Rings trilogy is working on this animation. So why is it that why is it that these people are just so silly? You're gonna get the same uh, outcry that happened with Rings of Power. People are gonna complain about this, and then people who worked on the movie are going to fight back. That's what's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen because we've seen the same song and dance for years. It's just getting more extreme because people are just tired of it, and the actors and actresses will find any excuse. But overall, that's what they're doing. That's all what they're going to do for this upcoming movie. People were really into this movie because it's an anime, so they really were excited for it. And plus, they did not like Rings of Power, so anything opposite of that will make sense. I understand. I understand wanting something great is good, but come on, it's modern times. Do you really think a big production? Do you really think a big production is going to be non-woke? Maybe if it was made in the 2000s, obviously, but it's not the 2000s anymore. It's the 2020s. Things are going to be extremely woke. Sorry for getting so stuck, but that's just the truth. People genuinely don't care. They work in Hollywood. They don't care about your favorite stories. They want to push their agenda, and that's it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I know this video was hard to watch. I'm sorry, but I had nothing else to talk about. So, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.